Hello, happy Sunday. Oh my gosh, when I tell y'all the drama that occurred in me trying to get this video to happen, all the technical difficulties. But anyway, happy Sunday. It's Sunday, so that means it is time for us to reset and think about how we want to move into the week. And I'm going to continue my series on really getting ready for the year. So we're not just getting ready for the week, but also thinking about how we are getting ready for 2025 as well. And so, this week, I wanted to bring you all a topic that's one that I've tended to kind of revisit over the years since I first started blogging way back in the day. And it continues to be something that I think is really helpful in thinking about how you set goals, how you want to approach the year ahead. And I also think it is a practice in giving yourself some grace. So if you are catching me live, thank you so much. In fact, I have been determined. There we go. Uh-oh, I'm cooking now. I'm about to let me cook. Bang, bang. So I've been determined to figure out how to make it happen on Instagram at the same time. And today is that day. So, little recap. What made you jealous this year is the question that I am leading off with today. So, when we think about jealousy, I think what comes up is that there is a negative association with jealousy. We are told that we're not supposed to envy anyone, we're not supposed to feel jealous. I think part of the kind of negative energy and emotion that comes along with the jealous feeling is actually feeling a sense of shame about feeling jealous about something or feeling envious. Maybe it's with something that someone has, or maybe something that they do. Just really looking outside of yourself and seeing something that makes you feel some kind of way. And so I wanted to take a moment to have us reframe that and talk about what made you jealous this year from the position of, if you saw things that made you go, dang, maybe I wish that was me. Maybe it's that quiet voice, because I think the voice of jealousy, while it feels like an internal screaming, it kind of appears in that soft way. It's like a little whisper in the ear. But maybe you saw something and you were like, oh my God, I wish that was me. I wish I had come up with that idea. I wish that I was having that experience. Like there was something that just made you feel like, I see that. I want that. I feel some kind of way because I do not have it. And I feel a sense of shame and a sense of just really not wanting to feel jealous. But if I'm honest with myself, that is what is happening here. So I think that now at the end of 2024, as we move into 2025, this to me is prime time to really look back and say, okay, what are some of the things that sparked that feeling of jealousy for me this year? What are some of the things that I thought to myself, you know, and the reason why I say it's okay to take that look back, to really um, discover and kind of go underneath that feeling, is that I think a lot of times when the jealousy crops up, it's showing you what you may really want that maybe you haven't allowed yourself to fully claim and to say, this is something that I really want, or maybe you haven't um try to like really see what's underneath it. So that's actually the first thing. Once you have identified the things that you felt jealous about this year, I would say that the next space is moving into this place of, got my notes, why does this matter? Because sometimes you may find out that it's not necessarily the thing that makes you jealous. Like, for example, I remember in previous years, I've had friends who have written books. Like, I am a person who knows people who actually have books in a bookstore. And while I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing for them, and I'm always so proud, it is something that, like, this is a goal that I have. This is something that I would really like to do in my lifetime. And it's really tapping into that feeling of this is something that I really want to do. Another thing, and I wrote about this today when I sent out the newsletter this morning, is that you might discover as you're digging deeper into what made you jealous and why it made you jealous and what these feelings are, that it's not necessarily the thing, but it could be the feeling that is attached to it. So, like, I use the example of maybe you saw one of your colleagues or one of your friends or someone that you know, maybe they got some kind of promotion. Maybe, it was a big career year for them, and you might be feeling some kind of way because maybe it wasn't a big career for you, a career year for you, or you didn't know exactly what it was that you wanted to do. But you recognize actually it's not so much about the promotion per se, it's not the thing, but it's the feelings that are attached to it. It's the recognition, it is the ability to do something new. And those are things where it's not that you want that exact thing, but you're figuring out what are the emotions or what are the things that are making you want to, like, say, you know what, I want something different in this situation. And so I think that that is the kind of, I don't want to say healthy way to look at jealousy, because I feel like jealousy is an emotion just like any other ones that we have. So it's not necessarily good or bad, it's what you do with it that makes the difference. But it is a way for you to be able to go a little bit deeper and say, okay, what's really underneath this, right? So for me, this year, I can't go on talking about what made you all jealous this year without sharing what made me, feel some kind of way. I think one of the things that made me jealous this year was when I saw people really in their elements creatively. Um, and by this, I mean, maybe I'm seeing really interesting content, things that aren't just fly by night, because when you're on social media, you see a lot of just crap, but things that are really more thought provoking, that it looks like they took the time with it. There was intention, there's authenticity, like there are all these layers that just come together to make something what I consider to be a really great creative project. And that might have been across Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, just these ways that we have an ability to have a personal sense of expression. And so not being able to tap into that this year, and in a lot of ways, I have felt a little blocked from my creativity, or actually, I think the way that I felt has probably been a little bit of burnout and exhaustion just because of all the things happening in life. I felt the jealousy of, like, man, like, I wish that I was creating at a level that felt right for me or felt like what I wanted to be doing. And I'm able to, like, sit here and say, okay, if I feel some kind of way about that, that moves us into the next thing. Now, what am I going to do? Right? Because we don't want to just sit here and say, okay, well, this made me jealous. This made me feel some kind of way. What is the next step? What are we going to do with that energy? So, the first thing that I think we can do together is really think about writing it down, thinking it through, and actually making a plan. So let me tell y'all, one of the most recent things I invested in was a printer. And there is nothing like a millennial with a printer, I gotta say. It is game changing. I know we typically don't have printers anymore, but it's a thing. So while I'll be writing things down, now I have the ability to print out stuff, make, the notations so that I'm able to have it in my face and really create a plan around that. This is something that when I'm doing my work with clients and in the career coaching space, the accountability bit of it is a lot, because on your own, you can think the thing, you may want to do the thing, but there's something about having someone in the arena with you who is not only cheering you on, but challenging you to keep going and to keep pushing yourself further and further and further. So that's my challenge for you. This is my end of year challenge for you. 2024. We are what is this? This is the 22nd. So yeah, we only got like 8, 9 more days before we are in a new year, and we are going to stop our reset this week is around what made you feel jealous this year. Take that feeling, go a little bit deeper. What was it exactly about the situation? What was the feeling? And then we're going to go a little bit deeper than that and say, what are the actions that I want to take this from a feeling, to take this from something that made me go, into something that's like elevating you to that next place where you want to be. So that is my show for you all this week. I hope that if you're catching me live on Instagram or Facebook, YouTube, wherever, thank you so much for tuning in. If you've been catching me week after week, that is amazing. I think now is my time to say, hey, you can subscribe. I have YouTube. I'm the Fab Life Project on YouTube, where I've always been the Fab Life Project, but I would love to catch you all more of my live streams on the replay, spending Sunday time with me. I am thankful for it, thankful for you. And yeah, I will see you next week. Bye.